One learns something new every day. You're never too old to learn. Those who didn't catch it, later, it's fine. I've never heard after tithes and offerings collected, you look depressed. That's a new one I must remember. Actually, some of you are looking a bit depressed. It's like you've had a lemon shower this morning, You smile, I'm a lot less nervous. Thank you, Elder Leroy, for that person you introduced. I'm not too sure who it is, but thank you so very kindly. And then thank you to everyone else who had the part to play with the service. Oh, there it is. Now, you might just be in for a surprise lengthwise. Yeah, he's going to jinx it. Let me see if it's going to move. Yep. This morning we given title to our sermon called Crumbs from a Table. Now, my heart is here because this is the church of tomorrow. Now, I watched them there. They were, in Afrikaans, back in Canada, we say they were ganning aan. All the Cape Town guys are laughing. They were having a ball. They were having a party there. They were, parading there. I want them here. I want to speak to them as well because it's important that they get to hear. I was here in this church, and all spoke over my head. And so I was trying just get engaged with them because we need to capture the rest, the attention as well. For our scripture setting, we're going to go to Mark 12, verse 43. Follow on the board with me, the screen, sorry. And Jesus told his disciples to gather around him, and then he said, I tell you that this poor widow has put in more than all the others. Just a setting here. They're in the temple. Now you must understand that the Pharisees, they got their servants to bring the offerings to the church. And they told their servants, when you get there, make sure when you walk to the front, keep it up high. So when you drop it, it must make a noise so that the church can hear how much is in there. And so this cacophony, where's cacophony? Fancy words in this church here. Cacophony in my mind. What? You can't come by. Cacophony of noise in the church, right? And it's like, the church is saying, amen, and they're clapping hands as the offerings are being dropped. And of course, those who own the offering or giving offering, they're smiling and feeling big, and they're the big dudes of the church now. Jesus, with a sense of humor as well, he's sitting in the little window there, and he's watching this performance, and he sees how impressed his disciples are with this show. And so after the show, he says, guys, just come in, man. Now you can imagine their utter disbelief when he says to them, guys, I want to mention to you, that widow, and she's a widow, and the Pharisees were stealing from her. The Pharisees, you read the verses before this part in the verse here, they will say, they stole from the widows. They took their houses, right? They were half the reason why she was poor. And he says to his disciples, can you imagine in this noise, in this, the thud that the offering must make, she checks, she looks around, and she gently, puts her little mite down, insignificantly, and Jesus says, she has given more than those other ones who thought they were given much. Now, folk, I've been battling as to when I should share the story, and there's nothing like the present. It was just a few weeks back, I went to see the cardiologist. It was 3 months after my discharge. And he's not a very talkative type of person. But that day, he sat on the chair, looked at me and said, so, Pastor, how are you doing? He's Professor Aesop. I said, no, well, okay. He said, you still enjoying your work? I said, yeah. are you busy? I said, that's the problem. I showed him my diary, and he said, very busy. He said, but do you enjoy to do? I said, I do. And he said, one of our old cardiology professors, now he's old already. So he's old professor way back when. That professor, the worms that ate him are dead already, you know what I mean? So that is an old man. He says, this professor always told us, the graveyard is full of people who thought they were indispensable. That graveyard is full of people who thought they were indispensable. The day before, I'd just gone to see a psychologist just to check something with her. And she said to me, Howard, you know what you have to do. And so churches with a lot of mixed emotions that I had to do what I had to do. I currently serve as a conference stewardship director, and that keeps me busy. Being an interim pastor makes me think I'm indispensable. So with regret to all the Metro members that I have, I didn't tender my resignation, but I just followed the instruction of the cardiologist and just remove myself. He says your heart needs to repair, and you need to have me time, and the one I don't like, exercise time. So the conference ADCOM has already voted that Pastor Rossouw will no longer serve as Metro Mission's interim pastor. However, in the interim, and the pun is intended, while we still don't have a pastor, I will still come and be of assistance for services. Thank you, Quentin. I was going to ask, at least I thought I'd get an amen. Now, I don't want to say that, but I want to say it. You all look depressed, okay? And offering wasn't even taken up. So, church, thank you for the love. Thank you for your support. And I also am involved with an NGO called Alcohol and Drug Concerns. And my family told me in a hospital, jettison them. Indispensable, I thought it was. And I'm still busy with them. At the October meeting now, they will also get to hear what my cardiologist says. What he was told when he was in college. Crumbs from a table. Crumbs from a table. Do you guys like crumbs here? Hello. Do you like crumbs? No way. If somebody gives you crumbs, are you going to be happy? No. Crumbs of cake. No, you want the cake. You don't want the crumbs. You want the crumbs, yeah. I've asked you this before, but maybe you've forgotten. Here's a list of everything that you're entitled to and what the world owes you. Check what number on the list is yours. And that's the important component here. We are entitled to nothing. And the world owes me and you nothing. However, we owe the world everything. 40 years stewardship, you know it, treasure, time, talent, and the one that always falls off the table, temple. Okay, how do you plan your monthly giving? Let's see how we're going to work it out now. Now I'm going to need 10 volunteers, please. 10 volunteers, please. Okay, I need some adults too. So I'm going to just choose about 3 from this group. 1, and we're going to go 2 and 3. Okay. So you guys come up here, stand here in a line here in the stripe, go in that way. Volunteers, please come forward. Just stand here and face the congregation. I'm going to do what her mother does, volunteer on her behalf. Sefiso, izapa wena, izapa, hoza. Righto. You don't come in, guys. I need 10. I've got 4. I've just chosen 1, 5. I need 5 more. Just for those lips. Come. Yeah, 2 behind me. Okay. And then Lasha, you. Just come more. You can stand here. Lasha, you can stand here. Come a bit this way now. Just go back, Colin. Just go back. Come here. Do we have 10? Can someone count to me? I went to school at night, so I can't count in the day. I did maths at night, not in the day. How many do we have here now? 9. Leroy. Oh. Okay, no, fine, thank you. Come and stand here, Sammy. Next to Safisa here. Matchmaker. Chips, is she with you or just standing with you? Count it in. 2, 4, together. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great stuff. Great stuff. I'm going to have to put this down. No, the guys in the crowd.
Oh, can I hear? You're not going to hear.
It's not going to work. It's not gonna work. Just put it down here somewhere. Now I'm going to give very quick. I'm going to give each a little card here, which I want them to hold for me. Generally speaking, how we go about doing this whole monthly giving. Okay, Lasha, if you can just drop yours. That's well done. And what does it say? Show the church come even. Bond rent. That's what we do, right? And that's important. Now, is there anything like good debt? What's good debt? Good debt. We have the gentleman who sleeps next to the accountant, and he answers and says, long-term investments. Debt. Anything good about debt? Is it good debt? That is student loans, necessary debt. The only thing good about debt is G, get, O, out, O, of, D, debt. There's nothing like good debt. Get out of debt is what you need to do. That's necessary. Pay it off as quickly as you can and be debt free. That's the only thing good about debt. Now, Lashe, because you were so obedient, which you not necessarily are, normally are, I've got a little reward for you. Whoops. Okay, so here's the packet. Whoops. You were so kind, you may have one of these little cookies here. She can take one of the little cookies. They're all the same.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. And the packet. So you just come along with this, please, as we... Okay, Sophie, let's see what you got here now. Wow. And I gave it to him intentionally. Car payments. Show them there. And of course, it's got to be the fancy car, eh? Remember, this is a depreciating asset. Necessary? That one will get you to the same place at the same time as a starter pack. You know what a starter pack is? Toyota Taz. It might not get the wow, but it will get you at a whole lot cheaper. Car payment. So Fisher, you can put it down on the chair there. Thank you so kindly. And Lasha will give you a little reward. A treat. Lasha, you can open a packet to it. It will help. Okay, while I'm busy now, the next one. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you. And no eating in church, okay? Open up, drop down, other way around. Is it right? Oh. clothing accounts. Can you see that side, guys? So then just keep it up high so they can see. Edgar's, Pep, Jet, you name Pep stores. Pep has accounts here. But down in Cape Town, the folks say, I shop at PEP Boutique. PEP, Pep. Folk, we don't need this. We don't need this. Believe it or not, Lashe grew up, teenager, without a clothing account. At university, you know the university in Cape Town, we have three: University of Cape Town, UCT, University of Stellenbosch, US, and then we have the University of Western Cape, affectionately known as the UWC, University for Wild Coloreds. Kids in a class had clothing accounts. They're studying. We don't really need this. I don't have one. I had. Then cut him up. And do I look too shabby? No. On point here. On point. Should I? For what it's worth. No. It's beautiful. I thank you kindly. China Mall stock price. Stock price. I know stock price. And then they say to me, you're the China Mall stock price. And so guess, I don't know what it cost individually, but stock price. And on Sabbath, we don't talk about money, Quintus, mommy, no, because we Sabbath money. However, when there's no R in front of numbers, just numbers. Stock price was 15. 15. So I bought 10. And gave them away. And when I showed Lashe and the friend of hers, the one I bought at Executive Men's Outfits, which Lynn insisted I do, I said, of the two, which one do you think is more expensive? Which one do you think they pointed out? Stock price one. Stock price one. Lashe, please award her there. Reward, I'm sorry. Okay, while they're rewarding, what's yours, my young man? Drop yours and let's see. Quickly. Oh, higher. Keep it up high. This one must keep up high. Can you see there, guys? Oh. Okay, this one, dangerous. It's a scorpion, it's got a sting in the tail. The best thing is to use it and max it. Do you know that if you, what's it? Do you know that if you have, let's say, an 8,000 max limit, and you max that, and you just pay the minimum payment back every month, it will take you up to 8 years to pay that back. 8 years, because the bulk of your monthly payment goes off under interest, and your capital just doesn't drop. We can live without this. One, just for credit rating, but leave it at home most of the time. And before you use it, deposit money into it, and then you go and use it. And if you do, use it very wisely. And I'm speaking to myself as well. You can't hire a car, you can't do many things without having. So you need to have one, but manage it so kindly. Thank you, young man. Lashe has a reward for you. There you go. Thank you. What's the next one now? Down. Yeah, important one. Right? It says stewardship from the cradle to the grave and beyond. And beyond. And here's the beyond too. Right? You can make provision. Even while you are in the grave, you can still be being a good steward. You know, what's it, bequeathing to a project, to whatever. So this is important, very important. Thank you, young man. Lashe will give you a little reward there. What's the next one going down? Yeah, medical aid, important. NHI is on its way. Not too sure how it's going to work. But this is also one thing that we have to do well. Medical aid for those of us who can. Some of us can't, of course. And you know what? Because our church has a very weak, I call it a Mickey Mouse medical aid scheme. But it's a scheme all the same. And I often say, if it wasn't for the Mickey Mouse medical aid scheme, I would not be standing here. Because if I had to go to Sheldon Klicky and Helen Joseph's. Was who? Joburg Jen, yeah. If I had to go there, I'd have more than likely not been standing here. Because you go to those public hospitals just to die. Thank you so much. Young lady, Lashe's got a little gift here for you. Thanks, Lashe, for helping there. What do we have here now? Oh. Oh. Show it here, show it around, show it around. Now, folk, when I was younger, we had fly now and pay later. So all the colors in Cape Town were flying. And we knew they fly now, but they must pay later. Just think it through. Think it through. This is just to get you to part with your money, right? Why do you want to buy food on credit and pay it off for 6 months? Now look, I just want to make the point here now. Think about it this way. You bought the food today. You eat it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Monday, it's gone down the sewage system and gone. And you still have to pay for it for 6 months. It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense to me. And that's just the fact of how things are. Don't let Woolworths con you. Rather come to me if you don't have money for food than to buy it on credit. It's one of the worst things that they have out there. Food on credit, man. Oh. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Thank you. Lashe, please reward this young lady here. Okay, young man, what do you have here now? Oh. Show them here, show them here. You can see Chips was never that bikini-clad girls at a boxing match. Come on, Chips, man, do your job properly. There you go. There you go. I grew up with no cell phone. I grew up with no airtime. I had a Telkom call box card and a few coins in my pocket in case there was no card machine. And I managed. We organized big programs. We organized everything. I'm on regular saying I don't need a cell phone in my life. You don't see a person these days without on the phone all the time. You stand in a shop, the folk will buy, and just exaggerate now, 5 cents butter, 5 cents milk, 5 cents this, 10 rand airtime. Yes. 10 rand airtime. Priorities, yeah. Thanks, Chips. Chips. Yeah. Get a reward from Lashe, please. Okay, there we go. Okay, thank you. Romanki. We studied together at Harvard College, so I've privileged to call her Romanki. Come on, do the bikini girl. Anyway. Yes, Steve. What program do you watch, Steve?
What's your favorite?
Cartoon Network. Sports. Ooh. The World Cup starts, and I have a sponsored compact, you know, the cheap one. But I noticed here the World Cup, all the sports programs were there, 1 to 13. Then I realized, these oaks think that we fast asleep. They give you for the World Cup open time, you know what I mean? All those channels. Do you think they were kind? Do you think they love you? No, they wanted to hook you. So that when the World Cup was over, you say, wow, having all these channels, I must get it now. I want, what, a full bouquet. Premium. Huh? Can you watch all those premium channels at one time? No, you can't. Then what they say, don't worry, have a what, Explorer and the playback, what, record and play. Do you have time to watch the records? No. There's over 1,000 a month. Lashe, give Romain a reward. And then give it to me, please. Give it to me, please. Don't steal my thunder, you ladies in front here. Lashe, Romain, just take you one. Don't. Yeah. Be kind and gracious here. Okay, let's see what you have. There we go. God. Yep. Do your bikini move? She tells me, I don't know. Like Shakespeare says, me thinketh the woman protesteth too much. I don't know. Okay. Now, I'm just so sorry, man. After everything has gone out, all I have left for you are the crumbs. Now you must do your thing now. Tell me now, how do you feel? Yo. Like?
I'm sad. I'm touched. You got a full cupcake. I've been standing here this whole time. Like, I've done so much, guys. I paid DSTV. You know, I made sure you had a shelter over your head, right? I made sure you're able to come to church, right? You are fed. And then, not even a full cupcake. Like, crumbs. Like, these won't even make a full cupcake. Like,
No, it's not.
I can't even, like, put together and then get half a cupcake.
The truth be told, it is a half a cupcake. Because the other half is gone to my tummy. Fret not, fret not.
Wow.
A packet for her, please, Lashe.
Okay, cupcake, food over.
Not only a cupcake, but 2 chopped cookies as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Church, this is how we treat God. This is how we treat God. We give Him the crumbs. We give Him the crumbs of our time. We give Him the crumbs of our talent. I'm too busy. I don't want to get involved. Chips, I can guarantee you, not many, if one, are going to call you or knocks. Too busy. Folk, this is how we treat God with our treasure. We fill up all those things first, DSTV, etc., etc., and then we say, God, you know, you'll understand. We know you are understanding, God, but I had to cover all the other stuff, God. This is all I have for you, right? This is how we treat God. We give Him the crumbs of our life. When we're old and had 2 heart attacks, now we're happy to serve in the church. God wants you when you're young. He wants this age. He wants the exuberance of youth, man. Not now when you're heart attack and you can hardly move and you have to step down as interim pastor. What happened to my clicker now?
There we go. In a hand.
Oh.
Everybody's pointing at it.
I feel I'm depressed now. We got that. Now, how do we treat God? Right? Do we treat Him like a G-O-D? Or do we treat Him like a D-O-G? We don't even give our dog the crumbs. Ikunuba. Huh? Dog more. Heel scientific, yeah. Not even to our dogs do we give him the crumbs. Now, does God want all you have? Does He want everything that you have? The answer is no. So what does He want? What does He want? All He wants is what, church? Because when He has your heart, guess what? He has everything. Everything. Stewardship is not only about tithe and offerings and giving. Stewardship is about heart. Because when God has your heart, guess what? He's everything. He's got everything. Everything. Well, yeah, Quentin, you said the connectivity between the pocket and the heart.
Yeah.
When the heart closes, the pocket zips closed. When the heart opens, the pocket zips opens. Your time zips open. Your talents zip open. You look after your body, zips open. You know what I mean? Everything, because all God wants is your heart. And folk, when He has your heart, guess what? guess what? He has everything. Because that's what he wants. He wants your heart. Actually, he doesn't need your possessions. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need your time. He's got angels who has to hold back, could come and do the work on his behalf. Right? He doesn't need your talent. He's got the best talented people with him there. He wants your heart. He wants to give you the opportunity. Now, how do you plan your giving? How do you plan your giving? And this is just a simple rule of thumb. God. Start there. Not at the bottom. Not number 10. Don't keep him waiting all the time when all the others are being serviced or are being given. Don't. Then, South Africa has the lowest rate of saving. 72, 73 cents of every rand, net rand, that we as Africans and Zimbabweans and Malawians and Zambians and Rwandans, is it Rwandese or Rwandans or Rwandese? Okay, that one, yeah. We have to use to service our debt. Savings low in this country of ours. So it's God first. Then save. Pay yourself first. And then spend. And even if you have to spend the crumbs. The story told us the lady was prepared to share her crumbs with Elijah. And her crumbs just never ran up. And the crumbs sustained her. Her crumbs sustained her. Folk, God is the giver of all you have, right? He's given you your job. Somebody mentioned here now, I think, yeah, somebody mentioned here, I give, you give you a job. No, my helper said, I provide you with the roof over your head, right? Your job. He's given you your house. God has given you your car, Sofiso. He's given me mine too. And that fancy C63 AMG parked outside there, God's given you that too. God's given you that. Everything we have, church, God's given to us. Everything. We need to understand that. What you have, God gave you, right? We call it blessings, right? And then God is a giver to you and me, and then how? God gives through His church, right? We're part of a family here. We're part of a praying family. And so God blesses us as we connect with those within that family. Right here in the church, God blesses you. Right? He blesses you with a conducive building. He blesses you with a good program, good music, good singing, good food every other week at this church. Then, as what you have received is seen as blessings, and then because of blessings, because what God's given us, because we understand it as blessings, then because of that, guess what? Guess what? You give. You give. Not to be blessed. We give because we are blessed. Complete difference here now. Complete difference. The songwriter put it so well. But how much you love me, your actions will show. We sang now, my Jesus, I love thee. Love in the home, love here. But our actions, we give Jesus the crumbs of our lives. And so, church, winding down, you give first to God. And it's not just about money. Give your time first to God. In the morning, when I rise, give to God. Right? Not just your talent. I mean, not just your money, your talents too. You know, being able to, and the talent isn't the ability to speak or recite. I feel, wow, you know, I was envious. Because when God said, when He was creating our skies, I'm now handing out the gift of poem writing. Me, I was fooling around in the back there, making jokes, and I missed out. You give first to God, and second, you save. And only then, church, and just think this through now, if this is the pattern you kind of follow, it ain't going to happen tonight or tomorrow or the end of September. But trying to work it out, send it around, right? And God says, trust me. He says, prove me Come on, guys. Turn it around. Even though you can't see ends meeting, turn it around. Because most of us, we have it the other way around. We have that first. Spend. Right? And then we come with this. God, save, spend. And just before I forget this point, the Bible says, shall a man rob God? Right? Now it doesn't say, shall a man steal from God? When they steal from you, you're not at home. You come home, it's gone. But when you are robbed, it's in your face. The guy's got a gun or a knife and he says, give me, give me, give me. So we in God's face when we rob him, right? And after we've robbed him, we say, God, you'll understand. Please come and bless me. The person you're robbing, you wanted him to do what? Bless you. Doesn't make sense. No. No. Thank God, God is God. Give, God, save, and then spend. It's my all in response to God's all. That's what it's all about. My all in response to God's all. As we wrap it up now, stewardship is not an optional responsibility that we can accept or leave at our convenience. Whether or not a human being has a religious affiliation, believes or does not believe in the existence of God, agrees or does not agree with God, stewardship is still his or her assigned responsibility of which God will hold everyone accountable. It was a responsibility assigned before the creation of humans. It was defined by God before human beings were created and before the formation of religious organizations. Folk, we cannot not do stewardship. There is a God creator, owner of everything. We, his managers, stewardship. Don't only see it as rands and cents, tithes and offerings. It touches every aspect of our lives. It should be, Leroy, our highest aim in life to do what? That's the last slide. God bless you all, is my prayer. In his name, amen.